You need to email me today, okay? Because we're putting out a spreadsheet to the general student body.
Wait, how long is it then?
4 to 9. Approximately.
Oh,
Approximately.
that's a shit. On a Friday? Oh,
All right, here we go.
I thought they come Friday.
Simplify.
We're not here.
Sine cubed plus sine cosine. I am happy to answer any questions about the Shamrocks, but not right now. Right now, we are going to simplify this problem. Now, boys and girls, couple of things. When we're talking about squaring the trigonometric functions, we can't write this. That is not what we mean if we want to square the sine. This would say the sine of x squared. If we want to square the sine, then we would have to put parentheses around it. Mathematicians, because we're lazy, we're going to write as little as possible, don't want to be putting all those parentheses in. So instead, if we want to cube or square one of the functions, we put the power right after the function. So this means cosine of x squared. That's what that means. And you're allowed to write it that way. There's no rule that says you can't, but I won't. And you won't see it in any book. This is how we write it, but this is what it means, okay? So this means sine of x cubed. And our job is to simplify this. So I want you to look at it, and can you think of anything that we could possibly do to simplify it? Don't say add them, they're not like terms, okay? It's like having, if you had, let's say, a cubed plus ab squared. That's the kind of problem we have. We have something cubed plus that thing times something else squared. What would you do with that? Could you do anything with that?
No.
You can't think of anything to do with that? Miles? No, but that's a good thought. Somebody said something here. Oh, Seth says we can factor. Don't both of these things have a sign in them? So I'm going to pull one of those signs out. Now, if I had 3 and I pull out 1, then I'm going to have 2, right? 2 left. And what am I going to have left here if I take out my sign? Cosine squared. So it's just like here, my made-up problem. If I took out an a, wouldn't I have a squared plus b squared left? So I took out a sine, and now I have sine squared plus cosine squared. Get out your colored sheet. This makes my heart race because I have my colored sheet memorized. Look on your colored sheet. Can you see anything that talks about sine squared and cosine squared? Look right here where my finger is.
It equals 1.
What does it say about sine squared plus cosine squared?
It equals 1.
It's 1. The fundamental trigonometric identity says sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. So every time you see this, it's 1. The direction said simplify the problem. Guess what? It simplifies down to sine x.
What was that word you just said?
Trigonometric. I mean, I don't know what I said.
It just sounded big.
Sine squared plus cosine squared is the fundamental trigonometric identity. All the things on your colored sheet are called identities. They're like facts. This is the main one. This is a biggie that we use all the time. Anytime you see sine squared plus cosine squared, you're going to turn it into 1. But here's the thing. That was not in my problem. I had to do something first, right? So when I looked at my problem, I had to be like Seth and say, I can factor it. And then my identity came out of that. Okay, Number 2, I'm probably not gonna get this done, but let's look at it. Does anything at all occur to you when you look at problem number 2? Or B, no, number 2. Do you think of anything? Who said that? Distribute. Absolutely. I have 2 parentheses. I have 2 parentheses times each other. So I'm going to FOIL it. Distribute it. FOIL it. So what am I going to be left with when I do that? Well, we'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out.
To be continued.
Make sure I have my little calculators and my reference sheet. Okay? If you're not gonna be here,
She needed that?
the test on Friday, you need to come see me ahead of that, we gotta figure this out.
Wait,
Okay?
Was
So,
we doing another one on Friday?
yeah.
That was just the first one.
Half of it today. So you need to come to office hours on Friday. And then